Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel. I have an update that I'd like to share with you, and that update is concerning the proceedings of the Supreme Court. And by the way, today is a pre-trial day, and I've been going through some of those proceedings, and most of the time it was just about time allocations, because we think the submissions are going to start tomorrow, but today it was basically familiarization, getting to introduce each other to the forum, and I think trying to create a level playing ground for the case that is supposed to commence officially tomorrow. So I noticed certain details that Justice Martha KOOME issued. I mean, that was a decision that was arrived at by the bench. And I think some of these things are considered as tough demands on IEBC. And I think these are some of those details that Azimio One Kenya Alliance might have requested through their petition report. And we saw Orengo, was the one heading the Azimio One Kenya Alliance legal team, and Githu Muigai was there, and a host of other lawyers were in attendance. Of course, Githu Muigai was not for Azimio, it's for IEBC, but I can tell you that the place was full of legal minds. So let me go straight to what I wanted to share with you, and it's concerning those tough demands by the Supreme Court to IEBC. I have summarized a couple of these demands for you, ladies and gentlemen, so that I can share with you, because it's not easy as people thought. So there have been demands, and one of the demand is on recount for 15 polling sessions. SEOK, that is the Supreme Court of Kenya, made that demand that they wanted a recount in close to 19 polling stations. I think 15 polling stations. And most of the affected areas were within the Nandi Hills, that's Nandi County. Then there is a polling station within Kariakor, some polling stations within Bomet County. Then there is Kirinyaga County, which is affected, also some polling stations within that area. Then there is Mombasa County, and in specific reference was areas like Mvita and Mikindani. There are areas like Eldoret County, polling stations within Eldoret County. Then there is Nairobi County, was affected. You remember the Starehe constituency, where there was case of, such a case of, vote stuffing, stuffing of ballot boxes. So these are areas that the Supreme Court has noted. And the main task here to be done is the scrutinization of those ballot boxes. And the exercise is supposed to start from 2 p.m. today and end on 2 p.m. on the 1st of September. And part of the demand, as far as that directive is concerned, is that there will be 2 agents for each party. And each of these 2 agents, again, the exercise will be supervised by the registrar himself, or herself. That is a strict directive from Martha KOOME and the bench. So a report is supposed to be provided for that exercise, and this report is supposed to be issued to the courts, and that is scheduled for 1st of September, 5 p.m. That is the time that the court has given a directive to the registrar to issue that report. And mind you, Supreme Court is mindful of the time, because they are saying that the time allocated is not enough. And this was this concern was raised previously by Justice Lenaola when he said, asked the member of parliaments to consider looking at that time frame, because the time frame is not sufficient enough. So the exercise will be for scrutiny and recount, just like I've said, and each party shall be represented by 2 agents and shall be under the scrutiny of registrar of court and the court staff. That's what I've said, ladies and gentlemen. So I also say that the files will be availed at 2 p.m. So yes, the directive is majorly a recount. So to add on to that request, there were other requests which were made, and one of them was availing of the KPG report. You remember that report that was given out to the public when the KPMG report indicated some 1 million voters who have been fraudulently entered into the database, and the existence of super admins, who are not existing, ghost super admins. So that report is what the courts are requesting for. So there is another request, third one probably, Form 34Bs, all of them for all the constituencies are needed, both physical and the digital format one. So that report, you remember, Form 34B, from what we understand, is always a compilation of Form 34As. Form 34As make Form 34Bs. For Form 34B, each Form 34B is for a particular constituency, and that constituency, all those constituency returning officers, they provide their report to the National Tallying Center. That report that will come from the Form 34Bs, all of them, summation of all, brings Form 34C. And mind you, once the chairman is convinced that Form 34C has been met in line with the Constitution, then there is Form 34D that forms the certificate that is given to the president-elect. And that is the certificate that was issued to William Samoei Ruto amidst all those sharp divisions within the IEBC. Now, the fourth item in my list is a full audit report on the technology used and report of vendor due diligence. Due diligence now, that will now stand for the procurement process, whether due diligence was followed. And mind you, I don't want to discuss about this, but Martha Koome cited due diligence a couple of months ago that if it's not followed, then they would comfortably nullify an election if it's brought to their attention. So now, Martha Koome would like to see this due diligence. Then, there is another part now whereby now the court needs the IEBC to provide an error form that's been signed by the chairman CHEBUKATI himself during tally and verification exercise at the National Tallying Center between 10th of August and 15th of August. Mind you, that error form is very important. You see, the directive of the 2017 verdict by Minor Kiai's petition that saw the court issue a directive that Form 34As will always be the final report, and so that those forms cannot be edited. That directive is what CHEBUKATI kept mentioning, and the court would like to see that, okay, fine, you noted an error in Form 34A, but what did you do? If an error was to benefit a particular the presidential candidate, then what did you do as far as that error is concerned? I think Cherera and CHEBUKATI fell out because of that error. What happened? The concerns that were raised by those agents for Azimio. What did you do? So I think that is where the opaqueness came, as because CHEBUKATI could not disclose the details of that error. So I think that is why they had to fall out. And according to Cherera, the errors noted were significant. And this error report is what the court is requesting for. And mind you, CHEBUKATI cannot cook these figures now, because again, there are spies within IEBC that are seeing every move that CHEBUKATI is making. But that report is needed, signed by him, and provided to the courts. So I was saying all these things are required, but then there's another thing that is another document, a session diaries for Kiambu County. Remember, in Kiambu County, that is where we noticed that there was some vote suppression, vote inflations, and everything. So that's also required. The station diary is required by the courts to be supplied by the IEBC. So that report cannot be cooked now, because the assumption is that it is with the IEBC headquarters right now. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to discuss this case because we are not supposed to do that, but we are supposed to update you on the proceedings. So I was just updating you, my viewer. So I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed while we wait for more information so that we can always be updating you, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're viewing our channel for the first time, please take a moment and subscribe you can give us a like. If you like our videos, hit the notification bell so that every time we upload videos relating to these proceedings, you always become the first person to get the notification. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to leave it there. And until we meet again, bye-bye.